Hey guys, welcome back to another Monster Squad episode. In this one, I'm actually going to make it a little bit different. I recorded all the footage of me going through these floors, but I'm going to start talking about it afterwards. So it's going to be a little bit of recording afterwards, and I'm just going to go into the general ideas of what I'm thinking of when I'm playing the game, so I'm not really rushed or, too focused on playing the game itself. You can still see, me doing all the little moves there. Got a little purple box up there. But since this is going to be the floors 10 through 20 of SkyTower, I'm just going to do it this way. It was taking too long to film, just 5 floors at a time for such easy floors, so I figured this would be a little bit better way to do it. We got 2 purple boxes this time around. I got 2 rank Bs, so that's pretty good. Those are the 2 best ones I could have gotten in that floor. So you can see around, floor 11-ish, you're going to start getting rank B magic stone, so that's really good. Keep those, definitely keep those, because B is good enough. If you can get Bs, you're very close to getting the S classes, and it's only 2 or 3 more crafts away from getting the top tier stones. And you're only going to need 1 set per stone. So if you think about it this way, whenever you make an S-class stone, you're not going to need to make another one unless you actually need a second copy of it. That 1 stone is going to be viable for multiple monsters if you ever have to swap them out between different monsters. So keeping 1 stone around is really nice. Although in a previous video I mentioned you can save some money by just destroying the stone in a slot, I wouldn't recommend that because it takes a lot of effort to run this SkyTower and get a stone in return. Because as long as we're clearing these dungeons for the first time, we're getting our tickets back. Whenever you notice at the end of the stages, it says first clear reward 1 free ticket. So that basically lets us rerun the dungeon for free and get another magic stone drop. But once we've finished all of these rooms and we need to start farming for certain magic stones, we're not going to have the luxury of getting free tickets. And the tickets do regen every 2 hours. That's a really long wait time. If you compare to the arena, which is only 10 minutes, we're only going to be able to run 1 SkyTower dungeon for every 12 arenas we can run. That is huge. So it really limits the amount of magic stones we can farm, so we're definitely going to want to conserve all the magic stones we get. Even the rank E's and D's and things like that I'm getting, I'm not completely destroying. I've already boosted my inventory slots for magic stones to about 50, just because I want to start saving these. You saw I just got a rank D Thunderstone there. I'm going to save that, because eventually down the road, I'm going to want to fuse that to get a stronger Thunderstone. There's no point in wasting anything we get now, just because the tickets are so constrained. The time constraint on them is very high, and I don't want to have to waste time farming for the same Thunderstone over and over again and, just hoping that I get one. Because if you notice in some of these runs, I'm not getting 2 boxes, and in a couple of them I actually didn't get any boxes at all. So you really want to keep that in mind. Don't want to waste any resources. We're here for efficiency. That is our top priority, because in a game like Monster Squad, where everything is based on how you use your resources, you're going to want to be efficient. That's why you notice that I've got so many gems saved up, and I've got so much money saved up, and even the energy, as some of you might have noticed, I've got almost 600 energy just sitting there, just waiting to be used for when something cool comes out. And I needed to actually farm a little Voxus dude to upgrade a Mega Crusher I got, the little punchy robot guy you get from Robo Island Hell Mode, and I've used about 70 energy just to farm that guy out. So keep that in mind. Save the energy. You don't want to just dump all the energy you get right away. If you're farming something, go for it. By all means, that's what it's there for. But if you're not farming anything and you don't need to, as you can see, my team here is pretty solid. I can switch out spooking for pentacorn when I need to. I can switch in defensive monsters, offensive monsters, healers on the fly. When you get to that point, you want to start saving the energy so you can use it for better things in the future. You don't want to just dump it all. Now, if you're running low on gold or anything like that, I would definitely recommend waiting for one of the Treasure Island dungeons to pop up on the weekends and just bust some of your energy onto that, get some gold. That's how I did it. I just ran Treasure Island for 2 weeks in a row, and that's how I got my 3.5 million. Really easy to do. Just save your energy, hoard it until the weekend, and then use all of it. Do that for 2 weeks, and you're never going to be hungering for money again. Now, the reason I say saving money is really important right now channel is one, if you don't have a lot of good monsters, you can use them to fuse. The money comes in really handy because you're not going to be having that huge constraint and you're going to be like, oh man, it costs so much to fuse, but I need to save my money for this, I need to save my money for boosts, and I need to save my money for magic stones and all that. There's a lot of things to spend your money on right now. And by money, I obviously mean gold. You're going to be spending that on not only fusions, not only boosts, and bear in mind those do fail, you're going to be spending them now on crafting magic stones and equipping and unequipping magic stones. So that is an infinite use of gold. You're definitely going to want to be very conscious of how you use your gold if you want to, always be on the top of your game while playing Monster Squad. If you always want to be those top 100 players or top 500 players, that's what you want to do. Keep in mind the efficiency, and that's really what we're here for. This channel, if you read the description at all, we're here to be the best. We're not settling for top, top 50% or top 25%. No, we're here for the top 50, top 10, top 3, top 2, top 1. That is why we're here. Takes perseverance, and you gotta be patient. That's the key thing in coming to terms with games like this. You have to be patient and really just play it casually, because honestly, I've been playing this game really casually for the last couple of weeks, and it's been working out fine. I'm a little slow on the the SkyTower update, just because I haven't had a lot of time to play it, but I am going to speed run the last few floors here, and when I get to floor 20, I want to say 4 or 25-ish, I'm going to make a guide, a very, slow, long video explaining how to get from floor 25 to 30 and beat them all. I'm fairly confident that I can do it. I've seen a lot of other people running into troubles with it, but I haven't really run into any troubles with the game myself, just because of the team setups that I like to use. My mentality on the game is slightly different from other people's, so we're going to see if my strategies can clear those endgame rooms really fast and efficiently, and I'll see if I can convey those strategies to you guys well, so we can go ahead and do it. It's going to be the same strategy as this one, with a defensive leader, one supporter, usually one attack buffer and one bleeder, and we swap out the attack buffer for a healer. As you can see, my pentacorn is my attack buffer right now, but we're going to swap them out. As you can see in this floor right here, the leader monster on the enemy team, even though it's not the boss, is a lot stronger. And in this stage 3 right here, you can see the boss takes very little damage from the attacks I throw out at him, and the monsters in the back are also very heavily armored, so we're going to want very sustainable teams. You'll see here, I don't know if it's in this floor, but I believe in the next floor, I actually start using my shields more often, and the fights get a little bit more drawn out. I have no idea how those guys at the top of the leaderboards for the SkyTower right now have 4-second clear times, but I guarantee you it has something to do with this fever bar we get, and they're most likely putting every single attacker monster they've got on their team just for that last little bit. It's a really smart strategy, and it helps you clear out the end games really fast. You can see I circle a little bee thunderstone we get there, very important. Keep in mind the ones you get. You want to have them in the back of your mind just so you know when you're ready to fuse. It's a really great way to conserve your slots, basically your inventory space for your magic stones. If you don't have the gems to buy more slots, then you can always just quickly fuse some of the lower tier ones you have into an upper tier one, and that frees up an extra slot and gives you the next tier of stones. Now, I do not recommend using your stones at the lower levels just because it's a little bit gold inefficient, since you're going to be taking those out of the slots and then putting them back into slots and things like that. So I would definitely recommend saving those stones until you get the S rank ones, or even maybe the A rank ones. You can make an exception and throw those in just to get a little boost in there. But if your team's having a really hard time beating the SkyTower as it is right now without stones in there, you're most likely going to have to tweak your team a little bit, because the endgame SkyTower dungeons or rooms are designed to basically buff up your already existing strong teams. I'm expecting a new raid coming out soon. That's the only reason I can justify putting a SkyTower system with the Magic Stone system in the game right now. It just makes sense to give, all the players the ability to buff up your strong teams, because a new raid is most likely coming out. Now, I have no confirmation on that. That's all speculation. It's just what I've seen in many other games I've played. Usually buffing mechanics and things to make your team stronger are released in the couple patches before a big difficult update comes out. So that's why I would definitely recommend stocking up, tweaking your strategies, fine-tuning them, making sure that you've got the team that really works for you, and even some backup teams that work for you, because when those new raids hit that I'm really hoping for, it's going to be a blast seeing what we can do in those. So you can see here, I use my shields a lot, and it helps me survive long enough to just play attrition warfare on the other guys. As many of you know, I like to basically be the safe guy. I want to stay alive because my team will eventually win, you know? The enemy doesn't pose too much of a threat, and you can even see right here, I switch out my pentacorn for a spooking because of the extra heal. Now, spooking still gives me a 30% damage increase, so it's not as strong as pentacorn, but I'm not completely losing out on the damage buff from taking the pentacorn out. And it also gives me the 80% extra passive HP, I believe. It's either 80% or 90% for spooking, one of those two. And that's really nice because it'll boost up my survivability, giving me basically a guaranteed chance of beating these dungeons. Look at these. These guys can't even touch me, you know? That's basically what you want your team to be at. I've got a good fire team guide out right now. I should probably update it and put some more teams on there, but it works for all types. You can make a water team with it, a nature team with it, any team you want. The only team that's a little bit awkward to make is a normal style team because it has many different styles of monsters, and for that I would just recommend mimicking my team I've got right here. As for the other teams, you guys all know Now TV. He sends a lot of people here, and he's also the moderator on the Google Plus channel. Go check his videos out. He's got a ton of videos basically just showing off a bunch of different types of teams, and if you can mimic one of his teams or one of my teams, you're gonna have no problem in here. You definitely don't need a normal team or anything fancy to do these. Any old team works. Thanks for watching, guys. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed, and I will see you in the next SkyTower guides.